ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवी सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। We can chant this together. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नैव लक्ष्यते लोको लोकान् पर्यतयोऽपि यन् यथा सर्वदृशां सर्व आत्मानां ये यस्य हेतव। नैव लक्ष्यते लोको लोकान् पर्यतयोऽपि यन् यथा सर्वदृशां सर्व आत्मानां हेस्य हेतव। नैव लक्ष्यते लोको लोकान् पर्यतयोऽपि यन् यथा सर्वदृशां सर्व आत्मानां येस्य हेतव। आत्मानं यस्य हेतव। नैव लक्ष्यते लोको लोकान् पर्यतयतोऽपि यन् दृशां सर्व आत्मानां यस्य हेतव। न not eva thus lakshayate can say loka people lokan all planets paryatayatah traveling api although yan whom Yatha as much as. Sarva Drisham, the Supersoul. Sarve in all. Atmanam within everyone. Ye those. Asya, all the cosmic manifestation. Hetava causes. Translation. Pṛthu Mahārāja continued, although you are traveling in all planetary systems, people cannot know you. Just as they cannot know the Supersoul, although he is within everyone's heart, as the witness of everything. Even Lord Brahmā and Lord Śiva cannot understand the Supersoul. Purport. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Muyanti Yat Suraya. Great demigods like Brahmā, Lord Śiva, Indra and Chandra are sometimes bewildered trying to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It has so happened that when Krishna was present on this planet, Lord Brahmā and King Indra also mistook him. And what to speak of great yogis or jnanis who conclude that the absolute truth and the personality of Godhead is impersonal. In the same way, great personalities and Vaishnavas like the four Kumaras are invisible to ordinary persons, although they are traveling all over the universe in different planetary systems. When Sanatana Goswami went to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could not be recognized by Chandrasekhar Acharya. The conclusion in the Supreme Personality of Godhead is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart, and his pure devotees, the Vaishnavas, are also traveling all over the world. But those who are under the modes of material nature cannot understand the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of this cosmic manifestations, or the Vaishnavas. Thus it is said, therefore, one cannot see the Supreme Lord or a great Vaishnava with these material eyes. One has to purify his senses and engage the senses in the service of the Lord. Then gradually one can realize who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and who is a Vaishnava. I offer my obeisances repeatedly at the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas to seek empowerment before talking on this verse. And we welcome all newcomers and regular listeners and appreciators of Bhagavatam to today's Bhagavatam class. So, in Brihad Bhagavatamrit by Sanatana Goswami, Narad Muni is on a venture. He's on a lookout for the purest devotee of the Lord. And in his traveling, he reaches Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. And over there, he starts glorifying Brahmā. He says that I was looking for the greatest devotee of the Lord all around the world. Little did I know it was my own father. And, oh Lord, it is boundless to say that you are the supreme, you are the best devotee of the Lord. The Lord as Sahasra Shirša Purusha in your abode resides, and you offer him prayers, and you offer him such elaborate offerings and such elaborate yajnas. And the Lord is not in the form of deity over here. He's Sakshat, he himself manifests, and he accepts all your offerings and services. And definitely you are the purest devotee of the Lord. And when Narada was saying, Brahmā was trying to close all 16 years of his, and he says, Vishnu, what are you saying, Narada? Haven't you read Srimad Bhagavatam? Haven't you read the chapter Brahma Vimohan Leela? Haven't you seen how I was trying to test, and I was trying to bewilder Krishna, but instead I got bewildered myself? I'm not the purest devotee of the Lord. I'm a sinful wreck. I'm so sinful that I try to test Krishna, and and I even had to voluntarily accept. I voluntarily accepted the swaroop of Haridas Thakur to atone for that offense. So in that pastime, the Narad Muni asks, actually, we'll elaborate more on that, on Brahma's statements, which he said, what is Brahma Vimohan Leela? Because today's verse is, what does it say? Muyanti Yat Suraya, and so this verse is from the first 1.1.1. Janmadisya yaton vayati taratas charteshu abhigya swarat tene brahma hridayadi kavaye muyanti yat suraya tejo vari mrikam vinimayo yatra trisargo mrishat dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So this verse translates that O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who imparted knowledge onto the heart of Lord Brahma, Tene Brahmarite Adi Kavaye, and later, and because of whose opulences and whose illusionary potencies, all the demigods, all the sages, and all the devotees and non-devotees, all of them are are put into illusion, just like how a mere mortal is put into illusion that that there is water where there is land, and then there's land where there's water. So all glories to that Lord. Muyanti Yat Surya, the one who bewilders everyone. So this pastime is apt for today's verse because this is how Brahma got bewildered. So I'll take different references from different Goswami literatures as well as Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's go to Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami and what happens over there. So Snigdha Kant and Madhukanta, Snigdha Kantha and Madhukanta, these are two very eloquent speakers or kavis or singers of Srimad Bhagavatam who come to Nand Maharaj's court and they sing of the various pastimes. So today Snigdha Kant is asking questions and Madhukant starts narrating the pastime. So Madhukant says that once early in the morning Krishna wakes up and he desires. Yes, bro. This is just when Krishna finished his Kumar pastimes. So now he's from Kumar, he's reaching to Pauganda. So early one morning he wakes up and he says that today it's a very lovely weather out there. We should go into the forest for a picnic. So he blows his bugle horn and calls all his friends, and very nicely pacifying his mother, taking her permission, he goes outside his palace and stands there. And over there, one of the servants from Balram's house comes and he reads a message to Krishna. So Balram says, "My dear brother, I know you want to go for a picnic today, but one of my uncles from the Puru dynasty has come to meet me, and he's there just like a tree in the middle of a courtyard. So I don't think I'll be able to make it. So you'll have to go without me. But don't worry, you should go and you should not feel my absence." So some scholars also say that it was actually the Balram Purnima Tithi that day that Balram missed the picnic. So Krishna and all his friends decided that we'll have a potluck lunch. Everyone should get lunch from their respective homes and we'll share it and have it together. And then Yashoda Mai in the afternoon, she also sends bhoga, sends various delicacies through her servants into to the forest to serve Krishna and all his friends. So they go to the forest and then it is described what they did when they went to the forest. So Krishna wearing a beautiful yellow dhoti, pitambar, kunja berries and mala. All the cowherd boys, they would carry glass beads and kunja berries from their houses and would pluck different twigs and flowers on their way so that they can decorate Krishna when they go to their spot. So they reached the spot and they started playing games. And it is described how they would play games. So they would throw their sticks far and they would ask, and the other friends would fetch it. All of them would have their lunch packages packed, and one friend would topple the lunch package into the air, and the other friend would catch, and he would throw it far away, and the friend who's further away would catch it. And this way, the person whose lunchbox it was started crying, and they wouldn't give it unless he's really beseeching for that lunchbox. And then they're playing like this. All of them are blowing their bugle horns when they go, and then some friends who think that this is a very vulgar song, vulgar sound, very very crude, they would start mimicking the humming of the bees or try to sing the cuckoos, and if they're able to imitate that, they would be very proud. Although they're very humble, they would be very proud to please Krishna. Then Krishna would send them away, send them further, and would sometimes go deep into the forest. And then the friends would do a running competition. Aham Purva, I will touch Krishna first, I will touch Krishna first. And then they would run behind Krishna and they would see who catches Krishna first. So all these cows, it is said 1,000 millions or 10 million friends and 1,000 and unlimited cows were there, and all of them were having a potluck lunch in the in the forests. There's also one pastime where all the devas from the heavenly planets were witnessing all of this, and they thought, it's such a good opportunity where Krishna becomes so accessible. In Vaikuntha, we have to chant thousands of prayers, Purusha Sukta, and only then through Brahma we hear what the Lord has said. We can't even enter the planet and see the beautiful form of Sri Narayan. So why not just become one of the friends? So many friends. Just become one of the friends of Krishna, and we'll play with Krishna this way. So all of these devtas, they take forms of cowherd boys, and they try to join their party. But what happens is that day they are playing a game where one of them has to scouch, and they become, it is also Pṛthu, we say. So they become a stumbling block, and the other friend has to jump over them. So this is the game they're playing. So Indra, Surya, Varun, Vayu and Mitra, actually they're the same. So they go and so the game, so in this game now it's Krishna's turn, right? So Krishna is becoming the Pṛthu, and all the Sakhas have to jump, cross over him. So Subal goes, Madhumangal goes, Stoka Krishna goes, and now it's the turn of Mr. Indra, who's actually a demigod. So disguised as a cowherd boy. So he's about to jump, but when he's just about to jump, he sees the form of Krishna and he says, Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami, because his vision of opulence does not allow him to cross over the Supreme Personality of Godhead, on whom everything rests upon. And then all the other cowherd boys who are actually all the other demigods who are actually in the garb of cowherd boys start laughing on Indra, and other cowherd boys are saying, "Oi, what are you doing? You have to jump! Oh, whom are you offering the prayers to?" And Indra he's just not able to do it, and then he goes back in the line. And then next is Surya, and he says, "I'll be able to do it." And then Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandanoyam Jayatu Vrishni Vamsha Krishna Vrishni Vamsha Pradeepa. He's not able to jump either. And then Vayu starts, Ishvara Parma Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. When they are seeing these friends offering prayers, the other cowherd boys think they've become lunatics or retarded. What are they doing? They're supposed to jump, but instead they are playing with, they are offering prayers to Krishna as if he's Nanda Maharaj's Shaligram deity itself. So this is the conception they have, and they're not able to play with Krishna that way. And then all these demigods, they think, Aho Bhagyam Nanda Gopa Vrajayukasam. This is actually one of the prayers from Brahma's stuti when he atones for his offenses. And they realize that we are not in this position that we can freely play with Krishna and like Krishna's friends. So we better go back to our abodes, and we better serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead in our awe and reverence, in our Vidhi Marg, the way we used to. We can't imitate or even practice the Raga Anuga Bhakti which they are on, just because we've acquired the clothes of the Raga Anuga Bhaktas. So they go back to their abodes. So Krishna and Krishna's friends, they are busy playing like that. What happens next is Madhumangal, who forgets that it was actually the potluck lunch. So last minute preparation, his mother goes to 9 different houses and gets curd. And because she's a Brahmana, right? So Brahmana are supposed to beg alms. So they're supposed to do madhukari. So she gets curd from 9 different houses, and she mixes and makes lassi or chas out of it. And then she makes chas, and then she tells Madhumangal that curd which I've made chas with is from 9 different houses. I don't know what the taste would be like. Don't offer it to Krishna, because Krishna is Nanda Kumar. He's the son of the Mukhi of Vrindavan. So don't offer it to him. You drink yourself. So all of the friends now, they take a dip. Actually, a very wonderful pastime missed. They take a dip in Yamuna, and then they later think they're just playing, and they notice a big, humongous cave. And that humongous cave, all the Gopa Balikas, they are curious to see what this cave, because they haven't seen this cave before. So they think, okay, let's enter this cave and see what happens. Sometimes kids know that it is fire over there, but they still want to touch it. So they think, oh, it is the cave. Let's see. Let's go inside. Let's see. If anything happens, anything wrong happens, Krishna is there anyway. So very casually they thought like that, and they jumping, frolicking around, they entered inside the cave. Now that cave was smelly. That cave was slimy. That cave was huge. In fact, it was so huge that the mouth. We all know who the cave, who is this demon? कृष्णा बुक पढ़ो फिर से प्रभु Aghasur. So, but you are close, because Aghasur is the brother of Bakasur. So Aghasur, he goes, and in his mouth, the top of his mouth was surrounded by the clouds. So the demigods or the passers who would fly in the sky, they thought that this is Mandrachal has shifted, and this is the tip of Mandrachal which is actually being hovered around by by the clouds. So it was that huge. So these friends, they went inside, and Aghasur was still waiting for Krishna to enter. Krishna was looking from a distance. He did not want his friends to enter, but seeing that his friends have already gone inside, and to save him, because Krishna is Bhaktavatsal. Krishna is actually, he's incomplete without his friends. So he goes inside, and Aghasur closes his jaw. When he closes his jaw, Krishna, he increases his size. So it is one commentator of Bhagavatam, he says that till now Krishna has killed Putana, Trinavarth, Bakasur. Krishna did not increase his size, or he did not do any supernatural or mysterious activities to kill the demons. He just sucked the breast of Putana and sucked the life out of Putana. He didn't. That's just the normal thing a baby does. But why is Krishna increasing his size in Aghasur? So the commentator says, because now the rasa has shifted from Vatsalya to Sakhya. Because now Mother Yashoda is not around. If she sees her child increasing his size, she will get very disturbed. But his sakhas were actually practically dead inside the mouth of Aghasur. There's no one. So Krishna increases his size, and the air trap, the artery through which the air goes through, the pipe through which, windpipe, gets suffocated, and very soon Aghasur, who's not able to breathe now, he loses he's short of breath, and he gives up his life. The Atma which leaves his body and is waiting outside to merge into Krishna's beautiful form. And when Krishna comes out, he in his mind, he's talking to Aghasur. Aghasur, you desired to play with me. I played with you. I came and I played with you, but you couldn't handle my play, and you gave up your life. What is my fault in this? And then the Atma of Krishna, of Aghasur, it entered the beautiful form merged into the beautiful form of Krishna, and Krishna revived all of his friends. They said, "Oh, it's too late. We should have our lunch now." And they go and take a dip into the Yamuna, and then all of them are getting ready for the potluck lunch. So some of the friends, they get beautiful lotus petals, or they get leaves, or some of them get multiple leaves, or some of them just use natural rock formations to put their prasad on, and then they are putting their bhoga, whatever preparations they've got, into different cups made of leaves and flowers and flower buds and all of that, and all of them sit around Krishna. So they surround Krishna. So Krishna is in the middle, just like a lotus whorl, and all the friends are around Krishna, just like lotus petals. So they are eating, and then at that time, the friends are exchanging delicacies. They say, "Oh Krishna, have this, this is so nice." And Krishna is giving this. Krishna is, have this samosa my mother has made, and Krishna, have this Shrikhand my mother has made. Oh Krishna, have this Rasgulla my mother has made. And at that time, they see, Krishna sees Madhumangal is hiding his pot of lassi, and and Krishna says, "Hey Madhumangal, what have you got?" And then he said, "Oh, it was a last minute decision. I forgot what I had to get, so I did not get anything. And I'm a Brahmana, so all of you should feed me, and I'll give you blessings. That is what I've got." And then Krishna sees, "Oh, what is that pot you are hiding?" No, 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 that is mine. And don't you dare come near that. I'm a Brahmana. If you come near that, I will curse you, Krishna. And then Krishna, he says, "I'll see what your Brahmana is." And he snatches that pot and he starts drinking. But then Madhumangal, he snatches it back because now he's a bit stout because of all the Manohar laddus which Yashoda Mai makes for him. So he snatches it back and he starts swallowing all the chas because he doesn't want Krishna to have any chas, because if he has that chas, Krishna's stomach might get upset. So he drinks all of that chas, but you're not able to swallow all of it at once, right? So he tries to swallow it, but it is still in his mouth, and Krishna slaps his cheeks, and the chas comes out of his mouth, and Krishna drinks that sprout, and then Krishna says, "Oh, this was what you were hiding. This is the best delicacy out of all of them." And at that time, Brahma was flying from the space, coming to Vrindavan. Why is he coming to Vrindavan? Because when Krishna killed Aghasur, all the demigods, they were cheering. And hearing that commotion, Brahma came out of his meditation and said, "What is this commotion all about?" And the demigod said, "Oh, Krishna just killed Aghasur." And Brahma said, "Oh, let me go and see. Let me go and take part in Krishna's pastimes." Some commentators say that, some people say that Brahma wanted to test Krishna, but this is not actually true. Brahma did not want to test Krishna because he knew Krishna, he was Krishna. Because Bhagavatam first 1.1.1, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai. Brahma is Brahma because Krishna gave him imparted the knowledge into his heart. So it was not that he forgot that Krishna is God. He wanted to test Krishna because he wanted to see how Krishna would react in this circumstance. So he goes and he chases, with his mystical powers, he takes the cows further deep into the forest. And then all the friends are having this, sharing food together. And then one Gopal, he notices, "Oh, where are all our cows?" And then Gopal's, suddenly their friendship, their happiness, one Gop Balak said, "Oh Krishna, close your eyes, I've got something very sweet. My mother has specially made it for you, but you have to close your eyes." And then Krishna, other Balaka, he closes Krishna's eyes, and then instead of the Rasgulla, they pluck a bit of flour and they put it in Krishna's mouth. And then Krishna chews, and then Krishna spits it out. "What is this?" And then all the friends start laughing. So they are having these playful pastimes, and suddenly all their playfulness, all their happiness turns into morose. "Oh, my father will kill me if I don't get the cows back. Where are all our calves and cows?" Actually, calves. So at that time, Krishna says, "It is not proper to get up between prasad. You all have bhog, you all have whatever you are having. I'll go and look for the cows, and I'll look for the calves." So all of them, they stayed, and Krishna went searching for the calves. But Krishna comes back, and Krishna had rice and curd and some fruits in his hands. In 1960s, I think it was Deen Tarini? No. There was Janki. Yeah, there was Janki, Yamuna Mataji's sister. She was reading this in Krishna book, that Krishna was having curd mixed with rice and fruits in his hand, and he was looking for the calves. So she made this cuisine, and presented it to Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada asked her, "What is the name of this recipe?" And she had to come up with something on the spot. So she said, "This is Krishna's surprise." So she named that dish Krishna's surprise. And from there on, it was Krishna's surprise, just like Simply Wonderful. this sweet also became very famous in in ISKCON community, and they would offer the Krishna surprise to the deities also. So he was with his curd rice mixed with fruits. He was going out and he was looking for the calves, but he did not find anything. Comes back, telling, "Oh, I did not find the calves anywhere." But then he saw, oh, he cannot find his friends also, because Brahma had stolen all of them. Brahma had stolen the calves and he had stolen the friends. But at that time, as a child, if you lose something, if your parents gave you a new pencil box and you lost it the very first day of your school, what would you do? There are some children in Satagun who would simply go and tell the truth to their parents that I've lost it. But then there are some Rajsi and Tamsi children like me who would just lie that I have my pencil box. Who would check my bag every day? So I would say, no, yeah, I have my pencil box, but I've lost it. So Krishna comes back and he thinks Nand Maharaj will be so upset that I've lost his calves, and all the Vrajvasis and Nand Maharaj will be even more upset if I tell them that I've lost all the friends also. So now he expands. You see this picture? Krishna expands his each and every friend, and then each and every friend. Actually, don't look at this picture now. Look at it at the second half when Brahma atones for it. It'll be more relevant. So each and every friend Krishna expands as, and when he expands like that, even if that friend, the friend's nature, the friend's behavior, if he had a stain on his dhoti, this expansion had that same stain in the dhoti. If the monkey would love laddus but would reject bananas, then this monkey would reject laddus and accept bananas. If that friend would have one particular rati towards Krishna, if that friend would have one particular behavior, subhav towards Krishna, he would have the same subhav and same qualities, ditto carbon copy. Expansions were created by Krishna, and then they all went back to Gokul, and when they went back to Gokul, all the residents of Vrindavan, all the parents of these cowherd boys who loved Krishna more than their own kids, started experiencing a mystical loving affection, a string of strong attachment towards their own children for the first time also. So this was how the mothers, their breast would ooze milk, and they would breastfeed their children. And Krishna expanded like this because all these motherly gopis, when they saw Yashoda Mai's Vatsalya towards Krishna, they thought, how I wish that Krishna would be my son. The cows would see Krishna and Yashoda Mai, and they would think, only if Krishna was a calf and he was my calf, I would feed my milk, I would make him drink my milk, and I would have so much affectionate adan pradan or interactions with Krishna. And to fulfill their desires, Krishna did that. So now this is the Vatsalya of the mothers. There's, in Krishna book, further Vatsalya of the fathers is mentioned. That once these Krishnas and Krishnas because these are actually cowherd boys, they went through the areas and they went through a hilltop where all the cowherd men were grazing the cows. And when the cowherd men were grazing the cows saw these calves, which were actually Krishna. And now this is nearly a year. There's 5 to 6 days left for the entire year to pass. So it is almost a year, and they see the cows see the calves, and rejecting their newborns, they start galloping with 2 legs down the hill to see these calves, which were a little older. And when they galloped, because cows are heavy and galloping down the hill is scary, so they galloped down the hill to look for these calves. And all the cowherd men, they were very perturbed and very upset with these cowherd boys, that why they got these calves here, and these cows are unflinchingly attached to these calves, and they're galloping, they might get hurt also. And when they come down, they thought, we'll chastise our kids, what are they doing? But when they saw their kids, they could relate with these calves, with these cows' love, because they felt the same attachment to these kids who were actually Krishna. So, um, they were hugging and kissing, and the cows who were rejecting their newborns and feeding the milk to these little older calves. And that time, Balram, who was with Krishna, he saw that, and he said, "Oh, this something suspicious." So he thinks, what could happen? So at first he's alarmed. Is this some demon who's doing all of this? And then he's saying, no, demon. If demon Krishna would have recognized, oh, then what could this be? Is this some demigods doing this? But then he said, no, I'm actually Sankarshan. I'm the Supreme Lord. They cannot bewilder me like that. And then he thinks, what could it be? Could it be Yogmaya? Balram thinks, no. And then he looks at Krishna and he says, it is you. Because you are the Supreme. Because Eteshat Chakala Pumsa Krishna Stu Bhagwan. Krishna is the fountainhead. So today's verse talks about bewildering. What to speak of bewildering other demigods and Brahma? Krishna can even bewilder himself. Because Krishna bewildered in a way. He bewildered Balram, right? He kept it from Balram that what the past Brahma had stolen the cows, and now it is me who has actually incarnated as these calves. And then Brahma and then Balram is a bit upset with Krishna. You did not tell me all of this is happening. And nearly to that year, what happened was Brahma goes back to Satyaloka, but at the gate of Satyaloka, is where usually the guards, they glorify and they welcome Brahma. Now they are showing him the Trishul and they are saying, go away, and they're chastising him. Because what Krishna had done was, not only did he manifest as the cowherd boys, he also manifested as Brahma, and he went to Satyaloka and he told the guards, I'm going in. If someone else, there's a demon who will disguise as Brahma, don't let him in, chase him away. So Brahma, who's as usual, who's trying to go inside, is now chased away by the guards. Go away, Brahma is inside, who are you? And then Brahma realizes, oh, you can mess with anyone in the world, but you should never mess with Krishna. So he goes back, and he also, one commentator says, he did not want to meddle with Krishna too seriously. So he just took a fraction of a second, but time passes quicker in Bhuloka. So when he comes back, it was almost a year. And when Brahma sees these cowherd boys playing with Krishna, he's bewildered. He thinks, oh, Krishna has got the stolen cowherd boys back from the cave where I hid them. But then he goes back to the cave. The cowherd boys are sleeping. He comes back to the playing arena. He says, Krishna playing with the cowherd boys. And then what he does is, with two heads, he looks at the playground, and two heads, he looks at the cave. And he says, there are two copies of Gop Balakas. And then he sees suddenly the Gop Balakas take the form of Mahavishnu, like that photo over there. So Krishna and cowherd boys, they take the form of Mahavishnu. And Shruti, Smriti, Ganesh, Gauri, Lord Śiva, and all other demigods are offering their prayers. The Gandharvas and Chanaras, each of them are fanning each of the forms. So there are millions of sets of demigods, and there's one Vishnu, and they're offering their prayers to these Vishnu Murtis. And they're not just Vishnu Dutas, because they have the Kaustuba jewel, and they have the Srivatsa mark on them, and they have the Bhrigu Padachan also on their chest. So now Brahma is completely bewildered that so many duplicates, not even duplicates, so many expansions of Krishna as Mahavishnu. And he gets bewildered and he realizes what a grave mistake he has done. And then the swan lands. Have you seen Little Krishna? You've seen cartoon Little Krishna? Go home and watch it again. It is very nice. So the swan lands, and Krishna, Brahma, he looks at, and suddenly what happens is the entire that entire view is disappeared, and again Krishna has Krishna's surprise in his hand, curd mixed with rice, and fruits, and he's looking very innocently for his cows. He's saying, "Oh Harini, oh Hansi, where are you? Where are you?" And that simple form of Krishna manifests again. And then Brahma gets even more bewildered. And then he realizes what a grave offense he has done. And then he realizes what he has done, and he goes to Krishna. He bows with his all. He's bowing his head down, but he's a bit unsatisfied because he wants to bow all four heads of his at one point in time. But when he bows one head, the other three heads look up. But he bows with second hand, the other three head look up. But then he's also happy because when he's bowing down, he's also having the glimpse of the Supreme Personality of Godhead at the same time. So he bows down and he looks at Krishna at the same time, and then he begs for forgiveness. And he says, "Oh Krishna, just like a mother when she's kicked by a pregnant mother, a pregnant woman, when the child inside kicks, the mother does not take offense because she's happy. She sees, oh, my child is growing, and she does not take offense. Similarly, oh Krishna, you are Jananivas. All the creation, all the manifested and unmanifested rest in you. Krishna, please do not take offense of what offense I have done by taking your calves. Consider me to be that child of yours, and I beg for your forgiveness, and please forgive me." And Krishna is simply looking around for his calves. He's not giving any reaction. And then he says, "Naumi dite pushe, naumi dite bhrava pushe tadidambaraya, kunjavatam sa parivichala sanmukhaya, vanne vraje kavalave travishanu venu, lakshma shriye mridupade pashupangajaya." She describes, "Oh Krishna, how do you look? Naumi dite bhrava pushe tadidam araya." That, oh Krishna, you are wearing a pitambar, and vanne vraje kavalavetra vishanavenu, you have your bugle horn and your herding stick tucked in under your underarm. Vanne vraje kavalavetra vishanavenu, and you have curd and rice in your hands, and each of them, some commentators say it is actually pickles, 5 different types of pickles like this, and or some say fruits. And then so Krishna takes a bite here, and then he takes a bite of the fruits. This way he's enjoying what Yashoda Mai has prepared for him. Van Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. And the lotus feet which are served by Lakshmi. How Lakshmi serves the lotus feet of Vishnu? She thinks that the lotus feet of Vishnu are so soft that if I... Lakshmi is what? Lakshmi is lotus. So her hands are softer than the lotus. So she thinks that if I, press them, dents might form on the lotus feet of Krishna or of Vishnu. So what she does is she just puts her hand around Vishnu's feet, and the abha or the kanti which emerges from her hands, the light which comes from Lakshmi's hands, they serve and press the lotus feet of Vishnu. That's how she serves Vishnu's lotus feet. And Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. And those same lotus feet are going into the forest deep looking for the calves, not worried that the stones might prick or the twigs might prick the same lotus feet. Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. Oh Krishna, please forgive me, please forgive me. And still not getting a reaction out of Krishna. And then he says, further... Tattenu kampam susumikshmano punjava eva kritam vipakam rigvagvapubhir vidadan namaste jiveti yo mukti pade siddhaya bhakt. This is actually one of my favorite verses in Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Do you know the translation for this? Tattenu kampam susumikshmano punjava eva kritam vipakam. Oh Krishna, a soul who whatever prarabdha karmas has and aprarabdha karmas are destined to him, whatever good and bad comes into his life, suffers through them with sthir bhav, with equilibrium, and at the same time does not forget to offer prayers, offer rig vag vapur, prayers, and offer his obeisances through his mind, body and words onto your lotus feet. For such a person, mukti or liberation is his rightful claim. So a person who is able to withstand good and bad and at the same time offers obeisances at your lotus feet all the times, for such a person, liberation is his rightful claim. And then still Krishna is looking at him. he's trying to say, he does not say, but with his eyes he's trying to communicate. You must be offering prayers to Mahavishnu. I am not Mahavishnu. I am Krishna. I'm just a cowherd boy, and you are a demigod. You are the proprietor of Satyaloka. Why are you offering obeisance to just a mere son of a forest of one gram village made by you, O Brahma? The entire creation you have made, and I'm just a dweller of that village. Why are you offering obeisance to me? And then he says, Aho bhagyam nanda gopa vrajaika sam yat mitram paramananda purna brahma sanatanam. At that time Krishna looks at him, because now he's touching the sensitive nerve of Krishna. He says, Aho bhagyam, great fortune, O Krishna. Nanda gopa vrajauka sam. Great fortune of the Nand Gopas and all the villagers and the residents of Vrindavan. And Yanmitra Paramananda, and great fortune of yours, O Krishna. Great fortune of theirs that they've got your association, and great fortune of yours that you've got their association. So Brahma, now he understands what Krishna's mood is. So he starts glorifying the residents of Vrindavan. He says, Krishna, you are fortunate to have their association. Yanmitra Paramananda Puna Brahma Sanatana. That they've got your association, you've got their association. At that time, Krishna communicates through his eyes that, okay, I forgive you. And then Brahma, he goes back, he gets the cowherd boys, and these duplicates go away. And at that time, Brahma offers his obeisances and goes back to Satyalok. And then Snigdhakant asks, what happened to Balram? He was upset with Krishna. And then Madhukanta says that for 5 days Balram did not come to play with Krishna. And then on the 6th day, Krishna took his cowherd boys and he went to Balram and he pacified Balram with his sweet words, and everything was alright. So they came back to the Nitya Leela of Krishna going into the forest, playing with his cowherd boys, and demigods from the sky aspiring to be the dust of these cowherd boys, because they cannot become these cowherd boys. And all of this continued. When they went back, were going back to Vrindavan, on their return, Krishna shows them the dead skin of Aghasur, which was kept intact by Yogamaya. So in Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj, when Shukdev Goswami in between, he tests Parikshit Maharaj like that. He talks about the pastime, and then he skips one pastime, and then he tries to jump the pastime, and he says, so after Aghasur Vadh, he starts going on to the next pastime, and he says that on the way back, when Krishna sees the dead skin, 1 year later, all the cowherd boys see. And then Parikshit Maharaj says, wait a minute, 1 year later? And then Shukdev Goswami says, sees that, oh yes, he's very attentive in his hearing. And then he narrates, actually, Brahma Vimohan Leela took place, that Brahma had taken all these cowherd boys. So Brahma left the cowherd boys at the exact same place where they were having their food 1 year back. And all the cowherd boys, they woke up, and Krishna said, oh, it's time to go back home. On his way back, he shows the Aghasur's dead skin, and all these friends, they are cheering that, oh Krishna, you are so brave, or oh Krishna, Narayana is so merciful that he entered into your body and killed Aghasur, and left. And on their way home, they glorify Krishna and tell everyone that Krishna had killed Aghasur just now. He had actually killed him 1 year back. But, it's like time flip. So, that is a pastime of Krishna bewildering Brahma. And today is also, just in 2 minutes, Loknath Goswami's disappearance day, trying to bewilder, right? So, we discussed Krishna bewildering himself. Now, we'll talk about how Krishna bewilders Vaishnavas. So, Loknath Goswami, how he finds his deities. Who are the worshipable deities of Loknath Goswami? Radha Vinod. The deities of Radha Vinod are Loknath Goswami's deities. So, one day in Khadirvan, near Kishori Kund, Loknath Goswami was busy in his bhajan. And at that time, actually, Bhugarb Goswami and Loknath Goswami were the first two devotees sent by Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan. And at that time, when Loknath Goswami was busy in his bhajan, one Brahmana comes and he offers him a bag, and then he offers the bag, and Loknath Goswami says that this is Madhukari. He accepts it, and the Brahmana leaves. And when he opens the bag, he sees these beautiful deities of Radha and Vinod. If you see these deities, they look and they have the same size of Radharaman, only that Radharani is with Radharaman. So if you ever think, oh, I wish Radharaman had Radharani with him, you should look at Radha Vinod, because that's Radharani, and the deity of Krishna looks exactly like Radharaman. So he looks at these deities and he's so happy. He starts serving them. He starts plucking the flowers, and he makes a beautiful bed out of those flowers, and he puts these deities onto that bed, and he prays, "Oh Radha Vinod, please, um, please be happy, please be satisfied, please take rest." And at that time, he tries to look for that Brahmana. Where did that Brahmana go who offered me the deities? And then he hears a voice. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaya. So he hears a voice in the heart of, in his heart, that Radha Vinod, I was in this forest looking for you, waiting for you for a very long time, and it was me who personally came and gave you these deities. Please serve me very nicely, and never let me out of your sight, and always give me your association. He made a very beautiful bag out of borrowed and begged cloth, and he put his deities Radha Vinod in that bag, and he would carry these deities wherever he would go. Later on, when Rupa Sanatana Goswami, they came to Vrindavan, they invited Loknath Goswami to come to Vrindavan and stay with them and associate with them and give them their association. And today, where the temple of Radha Gokulanand is, that is the place where Loknath Goswami would serve his deities Radha Vinod. So today it is almost time. We should stop here. Loknath Goswami ki jai. Shri Brahma Vimohan Leela ki jai. Shri Brajendra Nandan Krishna ki jai. Any questions, comments and feedback? Yes, bro. Bro, this scientific question, best ask Radha Seva Prabhu. Yes, Radha Seva Prabhu. What is his name? Radhika Prasad Prabhu. He will answer this very nicely. You can take it in two ways. You can take it in two ways. Either you can take refuge of Bhagavatam 1.1 I think, what is this? Vadanti tattva vidastatvam yadgyanam avyayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti swayam. Either you can take refuge of this verse in this context, that brahmeti, paramatmeti and bhagwan, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan are the same, and Krishna is inconceivable. Even our philosophy is achintya bheda bhed. Mahaprabhu says achintya. This is inconceivable to understand. So even our philosophy is achintya, and it is very apt because our Lord is also very achintya. You can never know Krishna. So with the context to this verse, Vedanti Tattva Vidas Tattvam, you can understand that because the Supersoul, Brahman and Bhagwan are the same, Shukdev Goswami here refers to Supersoul as in he means that no one can understand Krishna, because Krishna is inconceivable, right? So no one can understand Krishna, who is the Supersoul. So that's how he's inconceivable. Or you can take it as how Krishna is expanding into Brahman, Paramatman and Bhagwan. That is very inconceivable for people to understand, because Krishna's creation is also very mysterious and inconceivable for Brahma, Indra, Varuna, other chieftains and Śiva, other chieftains of the planet of the material manifestation. There's one more pastime where Krishna invites Brahma, where Brahma comes to meet Krishna in Dwarka. You know that pastime, right? So I won't elaborate on that. And so point is that when Brahma meets Krishna in Dwarka and he sees so many Brahmas with so many heads, he thinks himself to be like a rabbit in front of all the wild animals like elephants and lions. So for Brahma to understand his own truth, it is very inconceivable. So for Brahma, not only understanding Krishna's mystical powers or mysterious nature as expanded in this today's pastime, it is also difficult for Brahma to understand how Krishna's Shakti of creation, Sandhini Shakti, works. So that is also very mysterious for them to understand. So how Krishna is the Supersoul, it is very difficult to understand. Or how Krishna, who is the Supersoul, is also very mysterious for them to understand. Two ways to understand this. Does that answer your question satisfactorily? Any other questions? Comments? Feedback? Suggestions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय.